Hello and welcome to Mountain Patriot Homestead. We are in the kitchen and today we are going to be taking it easy. And by that I mean we're going to be making a wonderful dessert, but we're going to be just using what I've got in the kitchen, and that is going to start with a boxed cake mix. Because today we're going to be making some Bannanies, or banana blondies. Also very much kin to a brownie, but no chocolate in this one. Okay, yeah, there's some chocolate in this one, but let me show you what I'm talking about. I've showed this trick to you before where I save my butter wrappers, because when I get ready to grease a cake pan or a casserole dish, I just use the leftover butter that was inside those butter wrappers that I keep in the refrigerator, and they are perfect for this. Now you can use an 8x8 pan, cake pan, whatever, 8x8, 9x9, but remember, the larger you use, the thinner these are going to be. I've got the oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm just going to get out my mixing bowl here, and there is just a banana cake mix, just your regular run-of-the-mill cake mix. Just going to open that up and put that right into the bowl. This next ingredient is 1/2 cup of melted butter. You can use unsalted if you'd like. Just cut back on the sodium a little bit. And just pour that right on top of your cake mix. 2 large eggs go right in there with it. See, this is really simple, nothing fancy. So your 2 large eggs right on top of that. And 1 teaspoon of vanilla gets added right in there to the mix. And we're just going to mix this up. And it's going to be a sticky dough when you get done with it. It's not going to look like a cake batter, so don't be surprised when it comes together and it looks like this, because that's exactly how you want it to look. Now this next part is 1 cup of whatever addition you want to put into your dough. And it calls for chocolate chips, but I didn't have any chocolate chips, but I did have this little candy mix, which is like little miniature Reese's peanut butter cups and some of the peanut butter M&M kind of candies. And so I'm just gotta fold that into there. If you wanted to use nuts or chocolate chips or whatever you want to mix into yours, that's what you would fold into it. And then just right into that greased dish. Now once you get it all in there, you're just going to spread it out evenly, because you want it to cook evenly, because you're going to be baking it at that 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 20-25 minutes and completely done in the middle. Once it is baked and cooled, we're going to be putting a drizzle on top. So hold on and I'll show you how to make that. Alright, these have just come out of the oven. As you can see with the toothpick test, they're done. And once they start cooling off, I can slice them up and get ready to make up that drizzle. Now, mine didn't exactly turn out like a drizzle because I wanted more of a frosting, but you can thin yours even more to make it a drizzle. But let me show you what I mean. I started out with 1/2 cup of peanut butter. You can heat this up on the stovetop or in a microwave just to start getting it soft and runny. And then you're going to whisk in 1/4 cup of powdered sugar. Now, I forgot to show the part of thinning or of adding the powdered sugar, but that's what you do. And now I'm going to add milk. This is just whole milk, and I'm going to add about 1 tablespoon at a time until I get it the consistency that I want. Now you can use this exact same thing to make a frosting for a cake if you would like. Again, you just adjust it to the thickness that you would like. If you wanted a bit more sweet, you could add more sweetener. You could even add vanilla flavoring, vanilla extract if you want to, but this is the very basic. Again, I did not make mine as a drizzle, but you can if you just keep adding more milk and just thinning it out more and more. But this is just how I'm making mine. Everybody do it your own way. And don't get excited if it's not exactly like you think. Just keep working with it because it'll thin out, especially if it starts getting too thick and you need to heat that peanut butter back up again. Just heat it slow. Now see, it's not a drizzle, but it'll work for what I'm going to use it for. Now you could pipe this on here if you wanted to. I'm sure so many of you are more talented than I am, and I'm just kind of glopping it on there. But you know, you can make it as pretty as you want to. You could decorate this up and make this. This could be good enough for a party if you spend a little time and want to make it pretty. Around here, just functional is the best I can hope for. So just work with it, and you know, again, I'm sure so many of you are so talented. If you'd ever like to share pictures of things that you've made, I've got an email address down there in the description. You're always welcome to share your pictures. If you don't mind me using your pictures in future videos, if you'll tell me in your email that yes, I'm welcome to share those, just let me know, because I like to show off what other people have done, because you know, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all to show how much better these things can look than what mine are. Now I'm just sprinkling a little bit of peanuts on top that I happen to have. And again, you could use chocolate chips, M&Ms, just whatever, piece of banana. I mean, just whatever you want to use to make this look more decorative. What are your ideas? How would you decorate the top of this? Just let me know. And there you go. That's my version of decorating. So what do you think? Think those look edible? I think so, and we're going to find out here in just a minute. So wasn't that easy? And you don't have to just use a banana cake mix. If you want to use strawberry, lemon, whatever type of cake mix that you would like to substitute, you can do that and vary your add-ins depending on what you've got. If you've got the white chocolate morsels, if you've got nuts, just play around with it and make it your own, because it is your kitchen, your rules. And this banana cake mix I could have added in, as I said, the reason I used those little Reese's Pieces M&M things, that was because that's what I had. If I had chocolate chips, I could have used those. I could have used banana chips. You know, there's a lot of things that you can use to change up stuff. Now, another way to change it up would have been just use a chocolate drizzle across the top instead of peanut butter. Maybe you don't like peanut butter, so use a chocolate drizzle if that's what you want. So many different ways that you could change this up. But for the final test, let's give this a taste and just see what we think it turned out as. So let's try it here. Little pieces in there. This is a good change up from just your chocolate brownies. If your kids like bananas, or maybe you have a cherry cake mix. You know, Valentine's Day is just this weekend, don't forget. But if you want to give your sweeties some chocolate covered cherries, well, instead make some cherry blondies, put some chocolate drizzle on top, put some chocolate chips inside, and you know, there you go. Same thing with strawberries. That would be wonderful. So give it a try. Let me know down in the comments below if you've made this, or if you try it, let me know how it turns out and what you think, what you would do differently. And as always, I love y'all. I hope you come back again real soon. Thank you for joining us. Mountain Patriot Homestead, signing out.